This case is against Mr. Parris. Mr. Parris, who was so drunk he could not walk without staggering. You heard from the deputy just how drunk he was 3 hours. 3 hours or 2 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours after the crash. 2 hours after the crash, he was still legally drunk. When their own expert dialed it back, it was twice the legal limit, is what he estimated his intoxication. But you know, my problem with Mr. Parris extends beyond the intoxication. This crash happens. It's the passenger side of Mr. Parris's vehicle is why he was relatively unscathed, why he wasn't hurt as badly. He knows that Mr. Montez is in that truck. He sees Mr. Montez in the truck. And you heard from Mr. Montez about how he couldn't breathe. He was literally drowning in his own blood. And Mr. Parris didn't even call 911, let alone come up and see if he could help. Didn't even call 911. And I don't know how much time passed until somebody else called. And I don't know how much sooner they could have got to him had he called. But I know that the same callousness that he has shown by not caring what happens in this room was shown to Mr. Montez that night. And that is not something you should forget. That is not something you should overlook. It happened. It was wrong. It was vile. I cannot imagine anyone not at least calling 911. We also know that he told the police officer he didn't know where he was going, where this party was, but they were going to text him the address. Not only was he drunk, he was planning to text while he was driving. Was he texting when this happened? I don't know. The reason I don't know is because when we asked, when we demanded to see the cell phone records, that is when he disappeared. That is when he said, no more, I'm not having anything to do with this case. And the reason that's important to you is because you will hear an instruction that tells you there's an inference you can make in regards to the willful suppression of evidence. And that's what it was. Do we know whether or not he was texting at the moment? No. But we know there was a callous disregard for the safety of others, for everybody else on that highway or that street. It was a callous disregard.